now is the time. Now your strategy should be, you should have read the CyBEX once. Okay. Okay, you have done video lessons with me. You should have your notes ready. Your notes will help you in doing second or third revision. Okay. Ethical disclosure and ethical hacking. Ethical disclosure. Okay. Ethical disclosure. I am a CISO of X bank. Okay. Now, as per regulatory requirement, any cyber attack on backend systems, okay, resulting into financial loss should be reported to RBI. Your organization says, okay, listen, we will not report it. We will cover it up and we will pay it from our, we'll cover these funds from our emergency funds. Okay, and we will manage it. As CISO, now it becomes your ethical disclosure. You become ethically responsible for disclosing that activity to RBI because your organization is doing something wrong. Now, does your CISO has that ethical and moral high ground to disclose it to RBI? If he has, then it will become that ethical disclosure. Clear?
Sir, any outsider can also do an ethical disclosure, is it?
Yes,
or only within the company?
See, any outsider, if he does ethical disclosure, say, this is your bank, right? This is your firewall. I am an ethical hacker. I found something funny. Okay. But now, this is as per the policy of your organization. You say, we allow what is called bug hunting. Okay. So somebody comes to you and he says, he comes to your CISO or he goes to your organization and says, hey, listen, I found this bug. That is an ethical disclosure, right?
Okay.
This is also an ethical disclosure.
So, then he's already hacked it now. So it is.
He's not hacked it.
Okay.
If you have a bug bounty policy, right? You put it on a website that if you find any vulnerability, report it to us. So I tried to find some bugs. I found some bugs and I ethically disclosed it to you. Now there's a hacker who came and he also finds those bugs and now he exploits them.
Yeah, got it.
Got ethical disclosure? So there are many scenarios. CISO ethically disclosing something to the RBI. So ethical hacking is your website is there. Okay. You don't have any bug bounty policy. Okay. You do not have any bug bounty policy. I come to your website. I find 1, 2, 3, 4 bugs. I disclose it to you. I tell you, listen, I am a what do you call it? What do you call figurines like Superman and Batman? What is the word used? Who protect the society? Is a term, no?
He-Man, huh?
No,
superhero. Superhero.
Yeah,
Superhero.
There's a term for it. Vigilante. Yeah? You are a vigilante, right? You are an internet vigilante. So that vigilante, you come and say, hey, listen, you got grave vulnerabilities on your platform. Please correct them, right? So that is.
Sir, abhi aap office mein hai kya?
Anup, your speaker is on. Your mic is on. Right. So that is an action. This action is called ethical hack.
So just one link more onto it. If I link it to code of ethics, suppose I see, like I'm a normal professional, but I've seen a person ethical hacking, and then in 1, 2, 3, 4, where do I report it? Which code of ethics? Like I can do reporting of this particular ethical hacking. There were certain questions.
Organization code of ethics.
Okay.
See, say you are sitting here, okay, in your organization, and you saw that your office colleague is trying to hack your own system. Firstly, is it in the policy? Though he might be doing it for good. His intent might be good, but it is wrong. Okay, you do not have a policy. Is it ethical for me, even though there is no policy, to try to find vulnerabilities in my own system if I'm not a pen tester? I have the skills and I execute the skills inside my organization without telling anyone. So I see you. I'm not going to go and do an ethical disclosure. Right? To who? To whosoever is relevant, right? As per organizational code of ethics. Right? So Protecte, if you look at this, Protecte, act honorably. Right? This is the act honorably.
Sure.
This also comes under Protecte society and common good. Right?
But in this case, I would be third now, because I am also in the same company. So provide diligent and competent services. I'm accountable for that. Third now.
No, you are providing diligent and competent service to principals for security, right? Right.
No,
In
for
this
the
case,
organizational good.
if you are looking inside your organization, okay, then you're not worried what is he doing, but you saw something. So you can act honorably. You can either hide it. You can hide it. Why to get into trouble, right? So you are not providing service to anyone here, right? You are trying to act honorably. It's when you do an ethical disclosure, what are you doing? You're acting honorably. You're protecting your honor because you saw someone doing something wrong.
Got it, sir.
If on a road somebody meets with an accident, you go and try to save that person. You're trying to save their life. Why? Because you have some kind of an honor in between. You have some sense of responsibility to take a just action. So by reporting this particular thing, even though it might be legal or illegal, you don't know, you're doing something which is legally just. Okay. Yeah, please do these questions, because if you don't do these application questions in the exam, you will get completely foxed. You get completely wrong. These questions are aptly given on CISSP 3rd edition and LearnZap. Okay. I only recommend 3. CISSP 3rd edition, LearnZap, and Boson. These 3 are more than enough. If you have to pass, you will pass with these 3 resources. If you don't have to pass, you can do 10,000 resources, you will not pass. Yeah.
So one last question. Sorry, I'm taking the time.
No, please, all your time.
Yeah. So I've been coming across terminologies like NMAP. I've never worked on NMAP or Nessus. When the ports are open, NMAP, when the network discoverability has to be done, Nessus. But what are these burp suite, wipe, something like that, and Nikito? There's so many things which were.
Use Google.
So
Okay.
should I go in depth of
burp
understand?
No. Just understand. Burp suite is basically for. Yesterday only I explained burp suite.
Yes.
It is for checking a web application.
Correct.
Vulnerability. These are common tools. That's why you should know. These are very common tools. All web pen testers use burp suite for checking web application vulnerability.
Correct.
There is.
So will they go in depth?
There is
like they will show.
No.
Okay.
If I have to ask you an NMAP question, right? Even if I have to ask you an NMAP question, I'll tell you what kind of question will be there. The question will be very complex.
That NMAP entire scans were given, and he was asking
question will be.
Port 6535 was not there. Yeah.
So the question will be very complex. You think, oh, I don't know all this. Why have they asked NMAP, SV, okay, 10.10. something, and it is very complex question. You will say, okay, I've never done something like this, and there will be coming port 80 open, okay, HTTP, port 4443 open, port 22 filtered.
But if you put port 515 and port 9100, I thought it was a question about port 80 open, port 443 open, port 551 open, and port 9100 open. I thought it's web server, web application, web browser, and I've written answer web, but it says about printers are open. Yeah.
551 and
9100.
So if you read the see 80 and 443 are web service now. So your answer gets excluded immediately. That web service is not an answer.
No, the question was having they found NMAP and they saw port 80, port 443 open, port 515 open, port 910, and the answer was web server, Linux server, One was printer and one was I don't know, fourth I'm not remembering. So I clicked the moment
So web
80 and
server is
443, I clicked
web server is
server.
no. Web server is off. Web server is open. So question was what? What is open?
Yes.
Yeah. So
what was the seeing this? What you understand? Which things are open? I mean, wait, I'll give you the question. Give me 1 minute. I'll give you the question. So I thought web server, and I clicked the web server, but it was saying answer was printers were open.
No.
That
So
is
see,
the
web
answer.
server is open obviously because 80 and 443 is running. So
Correct.
obviously web service is open.
During a post scan of his network, Alex finds that a number of hosts respond on TCP ports 80, 443, 515, and 910 in offices throughout his organization. What type of devices is Alex likely discovering?
Devices. See, the first thing is devices. The first keyword here is devices.
Oh, okay. So
you have
web
to identify
server,
the
file
keyword.
server, wireless access point, and printer. So I quickly seeing 88443, I clicked web server. Yeah.
No, you get wrong, na? He's asking for devices. If asking for devices, then how can it be web server? So that means 80 is out, 443 is out. Devices are there. So devices are line. So you don't even have to do anything. What was the third? One was 80, 443. What was the third one?
And wireless access point, and the last one is printer.
So wireless access point, so he will not visible. It will not be visible on port only. Okay, on an NMAP scan. Okay, so that means these are devices. So devices, what are devices? Printers. And generally 9100 are print daemon. You don't have to know all these. This is a, see, you have to find how to eliminate the answers, even if you don't know the answers. So you don't know the answer. I don't know what is 5110 and what is, I don't remember. How can you remember? There's 65,535 ports. How will I remember? There are standard ports, there are non-standard ports. But here elimination would have worked. He's asking devices. So 80 I know is web service out. 443 I know is web service out. What was the third option?
Wireless access point.
WAP.
515. Port 515. Yeah.
515 WAP is one, could be one option, and fourth is 9100, right?
9100.
So it could be anything between WAP and devices. Now WAP, doesn't operate on layer 3. Okay, WAP operates on layer 2. So NMAP scans work at layer 3. They do not work at layer 2. So WAP is a layer 2 protocol. So straight away WAP out remains as devices, printer. That is the answer. Though I don't know a 9100 which port. It might be any port. So if your concept has to run, see, I would have understood here. My only confusion would have been how WAP, because NMAP is a protocol which runs on what? IP address. You have to give IP address. Without IP address, you cannot find out, and it will not tell you whether WAP is there or not. So that means NMAP will never be able to scan whether there is a WAP running or Ethernet running. Got it?
Thank you.
So that would have been, but here elimination would have worked. You eliminate the answers. You have to eliminate the answers. So whenever there's a confusion, eliminate all the answers. Okay.
Yes.
And the best strategy for CISSP, I'm telling you, eliminate 2. So firstly, you have to find the keywords. Right? In this one, it was devices. He gave you devices, right? So device was the keyword. Can you identify the keyword in the exam question? That is the first part. Second part is eliminate. You will be able to straight away eliminate 2 answers. Okay. Then confusion will be with the third and fourth. Now you see which is enveloping answer. Third will be like in this case, we found out WAP cannot be done on NMAP. Now this is too technical a question. This will not come. Okay. But generally, between third and fourth, there will be very close answers. You have to find who envelopes whom. Does 4 envelope 3 or 3 envelope 4? You try to find that enveloping answer. The guy who is bigger will be probably the answer. Unless it's a technical question, hands-on question, it is asking what will you do? Okay. You have to have that differentiation, that is it trying to test your technical knowledge or is it trust? And most of the time it is trying to test your managerial knowledge, but one odd question will be there, will be trying to do a technical knowledge also. And that's where you do eliminate. Elimination is the best strategy for CISSP. Right.
I think I have one more too. In today's class, can I? today's class
Yeah,
we're talking about different firewalls, circuit firewall, NGF. But in book it tells about the layers also. All the firewalls doesn't work in the same layer. Like application works in the application layer.
Yes.
So stateful. So how do we circuit layer 3? How did we how do we remember that part? I mean,
You don't have to remember. See, layer 3. How does layer 3 work? Layer 3 works with IP and port.
Port. Yeah.
Okay. The communication methodology of layer 3 is I have an IP address and which port. That means 10.1.2.2, and this packet has to. So this is a packet, right? This is a data packet. There's a lot of data around it. So it has the IP address. Okay. And now this IP address is carrying what? Web service. Data of web. Similarly, it might be also carrying data of the same computer, might be doing an email also. So now there are two ports. One is 80, and what is the port number for email? 25, right? So now I am seeing that this packet has to go to the web server port. This packet has to go to the email port, right? That means email application. And this has to go to your web browser. So now you tell me, the firewall who's sitting in between, he checks that whether this was an authorized request initially. If this was an authorized request, I'll grant it. How will I check? Whether 10.1.2.2 make a request on port 80. Yes, it made. Then send it. Allow it. So now this is circuit level. I am determining the circuit. 80p request has gone, 80p request has gone. Okay. Or there is a web request, it doesn't go on 80, it goes on any other port. But request comes always on 80. Listener is always on 80. So the request has come on 80. Is it viable? Yes. Why? Because he made a request earlier, and that's why this response is coming. Similarly, email was sent and acknowledgement has come. Is this authorized? So this is circuit level, right? Then you have stateful. Stateful means I'm aware of your state. Aware of your state means that now these rules are hard coded. Once these rules are hard coded into your firewall, only allow web service, only allow email. That becomes circuit level. In stateful. In stateful, I'm aware of what you were doing. Okay. You requested a web service. I'm aware that you requested a web service. Whenever the response comes from web service, I allow it to go. I do not even check it. So I'm aware of your state. You sent an email. Okay, I'm supposed to receive an email acknowledgement. I'm aware. I allow the email to go. Okay. So that is how a stateful works. And then your next generation firewall.
You mean to say that one firewall plays a different role of being circuit when it has
No, different firewall. So these are generation 1, generation 2. These are generation 1, generation that when I told you circuit level, these was first generation firewalls.
Okay, now we are in NGFW.
Now you are in NGF where you have multiple blades, which can do inspection up to application layer and go down.
Got it.
Okay.
Now clear.
Now clear.